Hey there, and welcome to the Totally Fierce Crochet channel. My name's Thomas, and especially for the season of love, I created these gorgeous 3D flower rose granny squares. I think they look just awesome. It took me a while to make them, but once I knew how to get them done, I knew that I wanted to do a quick tutorial for them. So this is where we are today. And to be honest, I don't really know why I call them quick tutorials, because in the end, the running time is still about an hour. But when I do crochet, timing has no meaning for me. You just take your time that you need, and I will show you step by step how to make them. They look so pretty. And you can make them in any color combination that you want to. Here's one I made with this more of an orange, and then the back of it in the typical granny square pattern in blue tone, so that it looks like a sea rose or something like this. And it even has like a yellow part in the center. They're just so pretty. Not the easiest ones to make, so this is definitely a bit more advanced. And I'm going to make them in one go, starting from the center to the outside. And this is how the inside looks. I mean, you can still have it like this. Then you have like a big circle of color. So let's get to it. As always, I start with the things you need. First up, the yarn. So we need quite a few colors actually to make them. You need one for the rose. Then I will put a yellow color in the center. And then we have 3 colors for the classic square. So 5 in total. We need the white for the outer ring. And I'm using again rainbow cotton from Hobby. 3.5 to 4 millimeters. Then we have this color. I still have a little bit of it left, so I'm going to use it now. Then the bit darker mint greenish color for underneath. And for the rose, I'm going to use this red. Here I had a bit of a darker red, but for this tutorial I'm going to use this one. And for the centerpiece, I just have a little bit of the yellow yarn left, so it's always good to do something with your scrap yarn from other projects. So when you have something like this, keep it. You might use it in the future for other things, and we are going to start with this. Then of course you need a crochet hook. I take a 4 millimeter hook to make it. Then of course a yarn needle for the finishing of your work in the end, and the scissors of course to cut off your yarn. So let's get to it. We won't waste any time by talking, and you all know how much I enjoy talking. So we dive into the rose garden, we could call it. And we start the project off with a magic ring. So you wrap the yarn around your fingers like this, grab the yarn from underneath, pull it over your fingers, grab the yarn again from the back, so you get like this little V here, and then you just pull the yarn through. You release it from your fingers, you just pull on this part here and tighten it up a little bit with the yarn end, and we are good to go to start with round 1. And this is quite easy because we do 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So 1, so you put the hook in the ring, you yarn over, pull it through, and yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on your hook, and then again the third one, the fourth, the fifth, and the last one. Here we go. So the ring and 6 single crochets, and we can now tighten the ring by pulling on the yarn end. And then it gets a little bit tricky because it's like very small and very tight here, but in the end this is going to be like the centerpiece of the rose, so you won't see it. What's important for this tutorial is that you keep in mind any color that's a multiple of 6. So you always want to have like rounds with 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so we are going to make a slip stitch right into that first single crochet to close it. And here we go. And what we are doing now is to like basically create us some sort of a framework to later on work those petals in. And the way how we do it, and we do this throughout the entire tutorial, whenever there's like parts on the rose, we chain 3, so 1, 2, and 3, and then we are going to slip stitch in the third loop, but only in the front loop. As you can see here in this, here's the second, here's the first, the second, and here's the third stitch from the first round, and you always have this V, and for the starting round we are going to go only in the front loop, and then we can make a slip stitch here. I know it looks a bit crazy, but trust me, it will all work out. Then we do another chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then we are basically going back into that stitch where we started, and again we only take the front loop of the stitch from the previous round and have a slip stitch. And now it looks a bit weird, I know, but here you have the first chain 3 and here you have the second chain 3, and then we can already yarn over and cut the yarn, because we don't need more of the yellow. Unfortunately, I still have some yellow now for a future project, and we can pull it through and secure it a little bit. So basically this is our center. I know what you're thinking, what's he doing? But now we can continue with the red color and make our first 2 petals. So what we are going to do like are those 2 petals first, and we are going to work them in this, or in these 2 chain 3 elements that we had here. And now we first connect the red color. Just put it over your hook and then pull it through, and then as always we leave, or in this case we can already put it in front of our work, because then we are going to make a slip stitch right into there. And then what we're going to do is to work a multiple of stitches all in that same chain 3 space, and we are going to start with a single crochet just like we did it before. Then we are going to continue with a half double crochet, so you yarn over go in the ring, yarn over, pull it through. You now have 3 loops on your hook. You yarn over and pull through all 3. Then we are going to continue with a regular double crochet. So you yarn over, get in the ring, grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So you see we're going up a little bit. Then for the next one, which is the centerpiece, we are going to do a triple crochet or treble crochet, and we yarn over twice, get in the ring, yarn over, pull the yarn through. You now have 4 loops on the hook. You yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through the last loops, the last 2 loops on your hook. And now you can see the peak of our work. And to go back and still into that same space, we do exactly the same, just reverse. So we start now with the double crochet, then the half double crochet, then the single crochet, and now instead of making the slip stitch in here, we are going to do it like in that stitch that we used to attach the chain 3 spaces, and we are going to go in there. You grab the yarn, pull it through and slip stitch. You can leave the yarn ends behind if you have kept them. And then we are going to make the same kind of petal in that next space, and we are going to start now with a single crochet, then again half double crochet, then the double crochet, then the triple, and then we go back with the double crochet first, 1, then the half double crochet, then the single crochet, now it looks a bit like this. I think you can already see that or how it will look like. So to close the round, we are going to make a slip stitch in that space from the first round where we connected the chain 3. It's right here. We're going to pull the yarn through and make a slip stitch just like this. This is how it looks like. The back part of it doesn't look that special to be honest just yet, but as you can see, by only going into those front loops, you now have the back loops to continue, and this is what we do now. And first up, we have to get the yarn to the back, and the way how we do this is by releasing it and then going into that same space again, and then we are going to place the loop over our hook. You pull it and then you just pull the yarn through to the back side. What I'm going to do now is also to cut the yarn ends already, just so that I don't have them in the way. And now we are going to put the yarn in the right way first. And now we are going in the back loops, and what we are also going to do is to increase our work. So our 6 stitches from the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, will be doubled. So in the end we have 12, and the way how we do it is basically doing half double crochets into now the back loops. 1, 2, in the same space. Here's the next one. So you yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through, and pull through all 3. 2, 3, and then this is the 4th. Then we go to the next one, which is right here, and have our first half double crochet, and then the next one. So now we have 6. Then we continue in the next stitch, or in the next back loop, 1 and 2. Now we have 8. Then in the next one, 1, 2, 10. And now we are going to get like one of those loops here in between. It doesn't really matter since this is the back side of our work. And we make those last 2, 1 and 2. And we are going to slip stitch in the first one. You can always count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is the 12th one. And we are again only going in those front loops, because now we are doing our chaining to have the space to place the next petals in. So we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch in the 4th loop, front loop, and then we chain 3 more, and again slip stitch in, which is then the 7th, just like this. Then we chain 3 more, and then in here, and there's like those 3 here left. And again the same thing, 1, 2, 3. You can always know that that you got the right stitch when you have like 2 full stitches, and then you go into the 3rd one, and then just take that front loop only, pull it through and slip stitch. So now you have 4 new spaces to work in those petals. And again we are going into that first one, and we start as we did before with a single crochet followed by a half double crochet. Oh, Mr. Tangled Up Yarn is back. Then the double crochet, 2, then the triple crochet, then again we're going back with the double crochet, then the half double crochet, sorry, then the single crochet, and then we go again in that space where we placed the chain in and make our slip stitch to close the petal, and then we can go directly into that next chain space with a single crochet, with a half double, a double, and a triple, and back again all the way through. And now we do have that same space right in between as always, and we pull it through, and like that you made the second round, just like this, and we are good to go. Once I untangled the yarn to start with the next round, and we do it exactly the same way like we did before. I'm going to get into that space here, pull the hook through, and then pull the yarn through so I can work on the back. And you know what, since this is bugging me all the time, I'm going to just cut the yellow yarn off. And we're good to go. Of course I have to flip it a little bit, so when you then press it a bit like this, you see all those back loops from the previous round, and we had 12, and now we are going to increase this by 6 more. So in the end of this round we are going to have 18. So I'm going in there to place a first slip stitch, and then again we're going to make our half double crochets, just like this, and to get to 18 we are going to increase every second. So this one is fine, and then we go into the next one, 2, and this one we are going to increase, so we make 2 half double crochets into that second stitch or loop. Then we continue with just 1, so this is then our new stitch number 4, and then we make 5 and the 6th one in the same space, then 7, 8 and 9, so yes, the next increase, then 10, 11 and 12, 13, 14 and 15, then 16, and again that last one is always a bit weird, so we are going to just take one loop here. 17 and 18, so we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it's right here, and we are just going to connect that with a slip stitch, and this again is our starting point for again the chains. So we chain 3 and then make sure that we have 2 full stitches in between, and then slip stitch through the third. 1, 2 and 3. One, 2, 3, and in the next stitch, and we do that all the way through, so we can then make 6 petals in this third petal round. And in here, 1 left, 1, 2, 3, and where is it? 1, 2, 3 here. And again, we start directly in the first one with the single crochet, then half double crochet, double crochet, and triple crochet. Two, and there we go back, double crochet, triple crochet, half double crochet and single crochet, and then again we slip stitch in that connecting chain space, and then we start with the next one, and I will leave you to it and meet you at the end of the third petal round. So welcome back. I made it through the end. This is how it looks now. So pretty. And again, to close the round, I'm going to slip stitch through here, pull it up, pull the yarn through that exact same space, put the yarn over the hook and pull it through. And pull the yarn in the right direction so you have it in the back of your work, which looks a bit like this, hopefully. And now for the last round of petals, we had 18 stitches here, and we are going to make or we are going to increase them by another 6, so we get 24 in total. And so we can yarn over again and start our first double crochet in that first stitch, or in that first back loop from the previous round, and we are going to increase every third stitch. So this was number 2, and then we go to our first increase, 1 and 2, and then 2 regular half double crochets, and the next increase, so we have 8 now. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then again, this was halfway, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Seventeen, 18, 19, and 20. Only 4 more. 21. Now I have a knot. 21, 22. So I'm going to hide this. It's part of the yarn, unfortunately, but it doesn't matter since this is our back part of the work. And 24. So we can count again: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, and 4 is right here. So we're going to close the round as we did before. And now you can already see how this rose is coming to life by each round you make. And to start our last round of petals, again, chain 3 and only go in that front loop, chain 3. So what we want is to have 6 spaces, no, 8 spaces to work our last round of petals in. One, 2, 3. see where we are. Oh, there's still a few more. 1, 2, 3. And in here. I think this is the last one. 1, 2, 3. Let's see exactly. So we can go. This is wrong. Where is it? Here. And then we can start again with the petals. Now you know how to do them, and I'm going to meet you right at the end of the last petal round, so I can show you how to then go back to the square, and I'll see you then. So here we go. It's the end of the 4th petal round, and to finish it off again, we make a slip stitch into that space, pull it up, pull the yarn through, put the yarn over the hook, and pull it to the back of your work. And here's the rose. And it's quite funny that with the little bit of the yellow in the center, I think it already gets like a very floral appeal, and you can later on always like push it a little bit more or leave it as is. That's all fine. What we are going to do before we now start with the squarish part, we are going to make ourselves some chain 3 spaces in those loops from the previous round. So we're going to connect it in here, and then again chain 3, so we do as if there would be another round, even though there's not. And do those chain 3 spaces, so in the end we would have 8 to work our square in. You could do it without this part right now, but I think it's just, it makes it much more easier to go from round to square. 1, 2. And by now it also gets a bit bulky in your hands, probably. At least I think so. Finally, I had another knot in there, and now they're also like on the same side. Oh well. And 2 more. 3. Was it here? I have no, I think it's here. Sometimes it's a bit tricky to see where to put them in, but again, this is the lower side of the work. Now we are going to connect them just somewhere here. That's all right. Perfect. So now we have the spaces. Now we can cut off the red yarn. This was it with red. and then we can yarn over and secure the knot because we are going to work over it. And here we have our spaces to work in. And now we are going to add the first color, which is this one here. And here you can also see we are going to start with 3 single crochets, and then we are going up with 3 double crochets and then a chain 2 space and then all the way through. So I'm going to pick this yarn, this greenish grayish color, and we are going to start just where we stopped. You put the next color on the hook, you yarn over first, and then we make the first single crochet, and we do want to have those yarn ends in our way so that we can crochet over them to cut them afterwards, which you know I love to do. So basically we don't have to care about them afterwards and they're gone. So this was the first part here. Then we yarn over and make 3 double crochets, then a chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets in that same space. So here are 3, then we chain 2, because now it gets more like the typical granny square pattern. And 3 more. Now you basically have like the first corner, and then we are going in the next space with our single crochets. And then we are already at the next corner. And again, 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. And just like that, you have corner number 2. Then again, 3 single crochets in our next chain space, and the next corner is right around the corner. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Then chain 2, and the next set of 3 double crochets. And then again our single crochets in that center piece, and then there's only one corner left to do in this color, and then we can already switch to the next color. And this is then also where the square will really show. Because right now it looks a bit more wonky, which is okay. And then to finish the round off, I'm going to just slip stitch through the first stitch, and I think you can see it. It gets a square again. Miraculously, we get a square. And we are good to go with the next round. I'm going to just secure it, because now we are going to also work our way over it. And we can continue with the next color. It's that mintish grayish color. And we are going to start exactly where we were. Actually, we're going to take the next one so we can incorporate this part or this yarn end here. So we can cut them off both. And what we do here is to first attach the yarn like this. Then we start with a single crochet, and then out of it we make our fake half double crochet, just like this. Then we yarn over and pull through, and this now serves as our first double crochet. And then we can continue all the way, 3 double crochets into that space. And now I was waiting for it to just cut this off. If you want to keep those yarn ends to the end, feel free to do so. It's completely up to you, but I just love it when it's done, and I don't have to sew in those many ends. And now we're at the corner, and we go directly in it. We don't chain, and we make 3 double crochets separated by chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets. So 1 and 2 and 3 more double crochets. And then we are going like in between those previous ones here, and make our next set of 3 double crochets. So now this really is like the typical granny square pattern. And then again we go directly without chaining into that next space. And we reached the next corner, and we do exactly the same thing. So you do this all the way around, and then I'll meet you back to change the color to white. And this is then also our last color change, and then we can finish it off. See you then. So I'm at the end of this round, and all I have to do now is to slip stitch through the top of the first stitch from the round, and then I can cut the yarn And we can continue with white. So we are almost done. And now I'm going to secure it. This is how it looks like. I love that the dark color peeks out a little bit. Here's this stupid knot. I can just put it down. And we have the little yellow spot. It's so cute. And this is how the back side looks. Even that looks pretty, like a supernova. And now we can do the white, and we do it exactly the same way. We are going in here, get the yarn over your hook, pull it through, and make a knot like this. And then we start again with what I call the fake half double crochet. So we make a single crochet, and then you get in that loop, grab the yarn, pull it through, pull it up, and pull the yarn through. And then we can do our next set of 3 double crochets all in here. And then we can cut the yarn ends, or if you don't want to, you can leave them and remove them in the end. This is completely up to you. And then we go in the next corner. So we basically do the exact same thing with sets of 3 double crochets, and in the corner we separate them by 2, and between all the others there are no spaces. And this is how you do it, and I'll see you once you have this round complete. Don't forget to press pause. So I'm at the end of the white round, and I'm going to, as always, close it with a slip knot in the first loop where we started. And this is now how it looks like. It's so adorable with this 3D effect. Of course, you can always like pull a bit on those petals to pull them out. You can also, like, if you want to open the rose a bit more, you can like open the leaves. And if you want to do, I don't know, 50 more of those to make a cardigan or a bag or a blanket or whatever, this would now be the moment to stop. I will do like I did it here, make a little border around it, just to give it a bit more stability. And then we are basically done. So I'm already up here, and I'm going to do the border just with single crochets all around in each stitch from the previous round. So this border is really optional, you don't have to do it. When you reach the corner, I will do 3 single crochets in there. 1, 2, and 3. But personally, I think it just gives it this stability and enhances also the square form. And I mean, you can still connect multiple squares together even with the border. So I made it through, and I'm going to close it by making a slip stitch. Then I can cut the yarn, and instead of yarning over again to close it, I'm going to just like pull the yarn through. And then, can you believe it, the only piece of yarn that we have to sew in is in the end. It's unbelievable. And I'm going to go just in there. And then I go down here. And I'm just going to put that through that space. And it's a wrap. You can always push it a little bit, bring it in form. Of course, you can block it. Do as you wish. You can just send it like this. I mean, it's so pretty. And here's how the back looks. It looks pretty from both sides actually. But if you have it as a cardigan or a blanket, you definitely don't want to have like the rows inside. So this was it. This is how they look like. Beautiful colors, a bouquet of beautiful Valentine's Day flowers or flowers in general. And I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I hope you are going to crochet along with me this beautiful 3D rose granny square, and I hope to see you again next time. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like, send us some love, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my tutorials, and I see you soon next time. Bye.